I seen Michael Jordan play before I came to play with the Bulls. You guys seen him play. He was a horrible player. He was horrible to play with. He was all one on one. He's shooting bad shots.
So we go from the Hall of Fame speech to hot shots at Mike in virtually every interview. Here's where I want to add some sympathy for Scottie Pippen. Scottie Pippen was married to a woman named Larsa for more than 20 years. And now Michael Jordan's son is dating Scottie Pippen's ex-wife. I think they just got divorced in 2021. Mm-hmm. I'm sorry, I would feel some sort of way about my former teammate and good friend if his son started dating my ex-wife and perhaps was a reason why she is my ex-wife. I don't blame Scottie for getting a little emotional and irrational, and I know this criticism of Jordan started with The Last Dance, but you never know when the thing with Larsa Pippen and Michael's son started. There may be some synergy there. Steve, your initial thoughts on what's going on with Scottie Pippen?
Well, first of all, as they say, Larsa's for the streets. But anyway, look, here's the thing with Scottie. He's a brilliant second banana. But I saw something on Twitter, and by the way, I believe everything that's on Twitter. Do you know his career scoring average is like 16.1? Let's not make him out to be Kobe to Shaq here. Okay? He was a really good complementary player, incredible wing defender, great finisher. And everyone brings up 1994, the 1 year, the first year of Michael Jordan's kind of, what do you call it, the break, where he was in Memphis for the Birmingham Barons, right? And he led them to 55 wins. But the next year, they went right back to mediocrity without Michael Jordan. And the one thing that I'll always remember about Pip in that great season they had, Game 4, they need a last-second play. And the guy pouts because Phil Jackson said, we're going to use you as a decoy. We're going to give the guy to coach. And he just pouted. That to me right there was a big character defect. The other thing about Jordan, look, you know what I think of Jordan. When Jordan had great teammates, he was a really good ball distributor. And in fact, you go back to the first championship they won in 1991, the deciding game, Jordan did an unbelievable job of setting up Paxson out on the wing, the drive and dish. And when he had teammates that were capable, Michael Jordan, like Kobe, they could actually distribute the ball and make guys better. It took Scottie Pippen about 4 years to become a reliable teammate. The guy was afraid of his own shadow, and he was certainly afraid of the Pistons, and there came a time he couldn't hit water if he fell out of a boat in Detroit. Let's be very honest. Michael had virtually no help until him, Scottie Pippen, and Horace Grant developed. They were important. I do not want to take away what they brought to the table because Michael would not have won it without him. But again, Scottie Pippen did not even average 20 points a game throughout his career. Let's not make it sound like he was something that he wasn't. And by the way, Scottie never led another team to anything really tangibly big. Maybe the Blazers that blew that big lead in Game 7 against the Lakers in 2000. Hell hath no fury like Pippen scorned. And I think you're absolutely right, Jason. The situation personally, but it all goes back to, like you said, when Michael said Scottie was being a little bit selfish in terms of his contract. But Jason, let's add some context to that discussion. That bad contract that locked him in as being the 150th highest paid player, guess who signed that contract? Even though the Jerry Krause and Reinsdorf said, Scottie, this is not a good deal. Shorten up your deal. Oh, yeah. It was Scottie himself. He gave himself, and here's the other thing that I hated about him. The worst thing that used to be before this, they used to call him No Tippin' Pippen because he was terrible to waiters and waitresses. He would never tip. That's a character flaw. So he gets a bad contract, and every server now has to bear the brunt, and he has to become frugal at that's terrible. Scottie, bad luck, brother. You are more petty than Tom and Richard. Sorry, I've lost all respect for you, sort of. Anyway, that's it.
He also never made an all-star team without Michael Jordan.
Ooh.
That's another damning statistic against him. Shamika, are you like me? Do you cut him any slack? Jordan's son is dating Scottie Pippen's ex-wife.
No, I don't cut him any slack because I am a Michael Jordan fan. I've known him since I was a little girl, and Scottie Pippen is a lying wonder. He is so jealous of Michael, it makes his ass itch. Like, to get up here and say all of these things when I saw something where he actually compared him and LeBron, Michael and LeBron, and he said Michael was asked to score. If he was asked to be an all-around player, he could have done that as well, and that there was no question Michael is the greatest player of all times. So now for you to be a man scorned, you just look like a bitch because y'all are over. Let her move on. I tried to put myself, my ex-husband, great. I don't care. So no, I don't give him any sympathy, and I've been upset with him since The Last Dance when he complained that he wasn't in the documentary enough. Get your own documentary, Mac, tonight. I'm just sick of him whining like a little girl.
Listen, I get the comparison of thinking, what if it was me? But Scottie Pippen is written about and talked about in the sports world constantly. And a locker room environment, you got a bunch of guys that love to talk trash. And Michael Jordan's son is tapping your ex-wife. That's a lot to deal with in guy culture.
Real, even though she's used up?
Well,
like an old spare tire, like, you know.
She got your 4 kids.
But he didn't want her.
Well, he probably didn't want her because maybe she had a wandering eye from Michael Jordan's
Well, that's
son.
obvious. Jason, if she had a wandering eye like Cicero, yes, all moons and the stars. But anyway, here's the thing about Scottie Pippen. And again, I want to give him credit. He was one of the great complimentary players of all time. But I've seen lists where Scottie's made the All-NBA 50 team, the 75th anniversary team. Ask yourself this question, honestly. If Scottie Pippen was the true number one alpha on any team, does he make those lists? I don't think so. Certain guys are meant to be second bananas. As for Michael Jordan being a difficult, tough teammate to play for, I would argue that most guys at that level are. Last December, throughout this winter break, Jason, when we took our little vacation, I read the book by Sam Smith, Jordan Rules. I thought it was a brilliantly done book. I don't know what took me so long to read it. And there make no bones about it. It's no secret. Michael Jordan was a biting guy. He was hilarious. And if you really couldn't play, he would ride you like the bus. I mean, there's this one story where Stacey King, who just took so many of his jokes, was brought in a box into the locker room. And Michael goes, "Hey, Stacey, you got a jump shot in there?" And he would just be consistent about it. And there was another point where he didn't trust Bill Cartwright. He thought Bill Cartwright was Edward Scissorhands. He had bad hands. He turned the ball over. He couldn't finish at the hoop. And I think it was Tex Winter was trying to counsel Michael about, come on, you got to trust Bill. We got to dump the ball in. And Michael just blurts out, "Tex, that mother couldn't score if he was the only guy in the gym." And there's like 50 lines like that from Jordan throughout. That's just 1 year. That's 1 year where they actually won the championship. What do you think he was doing in 90, 89, and 88 to these guys? And Scottie needed to be toughened up. Because the one thing I do remember about Scottie was in the 3 years that they lost to the Pistons, and the Pistons were a better team, and it is a team game. Jordan had some bad games, but he had to bear the load of that offense, and Scottie always shrunk from the moment until it was 1991. That's the reality.
A lot of truth in that. I just, all the fish in the sea, and Michael Jordan's son has to go get Scottie's old fish. I just don't get it.
Well, Scottie could go get new fish now. All the fish in the sea, go get you a...
I just like what you saw? Hit that like button, subscribe, and check out the full episode by clicking the link below.